just when Republicans thought they were safe in Georgia, along comes Trump. He's heading down there for a Senate election runoff that could shift the power of the Senate. But there are pro-Trump rallies telling voters to boycott the runoff, and Trump is still insists he still insists that he won the presidential election. So here's my question: is he there to campaign for Loeffler and Perdue, or for himself? What do you say, Sonny?
I think there's no question that he is a narcissist, and he's campaigning for himself. He wants to get those big crowds. I think he wants to see that he's still loved by his supporters. But I do think it's such a bad move, because I really think a lot of the turnout, especially in Georgia, was because people wanted him out of office. And so his allegiance with Loeffler and Perdue, I think, can only hurt them. I mean, you have the WNBA players now coming out against Loeffler, who is one of the WNBA team owners, and supporting Warnock. So this, in my opinion, can only go bad for those candidates. But I guess they're going to embrace it.
What do you think, Sarah? You think they're thrilled to have Uncle Donald down there or not? Like the crazy uncle's coming.
I don't think anyone's thrilled about this. I think he's really excited for a rally. We haven't seen him in front of his people in a while, and we all know that feeds his soul and his ego. So I don't think that's gonna help anyone. And the other thing is, we've seen the damage this has done when Ronna McDaniel, said her name correctly, was talking with the people, earlier this week, and they were saying, why should we show up to vote? It's a rigged election. She's like, no, well, let's not go there. We already see that Donald Trump cannot control his narrative. We heard for years that at national security meetings, he'd rant about an interview he'd seen the night before. We saw him on, most recently, that 45-minute tirade on the rigged election. You come down, throw a rally, and rage your base with how this is a rigged election. It's not going to work out really for anyone in the Republican or the GOP. And I hate to go cynical on this, but I can't help but think it's a bit of karma. Like when you endorse a madman, eventually you're going to be burned. And right now they're feeling the fire. And I don't endorse any of the violence or any of the threats that are going on. I think that's awful and it should be denounced. But right now, as they're squirming and saying, oh my gosh, the Republicans are imploding and, you know, it's a civil war down there. Well, welcome to the party. Like we've been here for a while. You make your bed, you lie in it.
Anna, yeah, it's true. But Anna, do you feel like, well, I know I am enjoying this, that it could bite them in the tush. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like digging it. How about you?
Yeah, well, you know what they say when enemies shooting themselves don't get in the way. Look, if I were Loeffler or Perdue, frankly, I'd draw the curtains, bolt the doors, shut off the lights, and ask somebody to wake me up when he's gone. It'd be very nerve-wracking because this is all about Trump. This is really, less about going there to support the candidates, and it's a debacle. You've got Republican self-appointed surrogates of Trump showing up in Georgia saying, don't vote because look at what Republicans in Georgia are doing. You've got Trump attacking the Republican governor, Brian Kemp of Georgia. You've got Trump attacking the election officials who are receiving death threats, who have begged for this to stop because people's lives are in danger, because people could get hurt. And then in the midst of all of this, you've got Trump and the RNC announcing today they have raised over $200 million since the election was over. Yeah. This is a grift. This is Donald Trump doing what Donald Trump always does, figuring out how to fleece gullible people and line his pockets. He did it with the foundation. He did it with Trump University. This is one more Trump fraud, okay? People are feeding his coffers. That's what this is about, his ego and his pocket.
That's
Follow the money.
Something it's always been about. Right. And as far as Perdue is concerned, all I can say is the chickens have come home to roost. Remember the chicken guy, Perdue? Okay.